I'm not sure. How do you
Yeah,
guys
like,
do it? You need to share screen or something.
all right.
Like,
I think I can share screen like below. Just look down. You should see where you should
uh,
click to get started.
sorry, let me create a new window. One sec.
All right. Mm, while we are at it, let me share the link to where is that.
Excuse me. Um, so I can copy this link and I drop it here. Perfecto. Right. Do we start? It one sec. Or we
Um,
wait for some people to join.
yeah, we are live. People are joining. I think we have like total of 9 persons currently. I think why the session is going. More persons will joining. So yeah. Good evening, everybody. So today is finally like the day for the session that I've long announced, and pretty much talking something that both technical persons and those that also want to like build on Solana that have like a little idea on how to like ship will pretty much like understand. We're talking about like shipping with AI, building like Solana programs with AI, best practices, and a lot of things around that. Also, we could actually like have that at the end of the session, and could actually like distribute prizes if we see people that perform very well. Never can tell. So, uh,
Mhm.
we have Charles here. I don't know, but if anybody just started with the whole AI thing, I think when the whole AI thing started, we are among those that are like, fuck.
I was the anti-AI guy.
Like,
Um,
I actually like it was more of anti AI than AI. Like, the switch was, I never saw it coming.
yeah, you know what happened? I used to be like very anti-AI as far. Okay, I felt like AI cannot really understand business
Yeah.
logic to the integrity. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe start reading about this, start reading about this, start reading white papers, start reading like a lot of things that people have done in this space. And I discovered that it's way serious than I think. Because I thought it was a joke. And this was around December, I mean November, December period last year.
Yeah.
So I just started working on it and I loved it, you know.
Yeah, and I think one of the good things you've done so far with it was that building one shot in Solana program stuff like we saw
Yeah.
in the
So
timeline. And yeah,
yeah, replicates for Solana. We're basically building the same experience that you have using Lovable. So this time, instead of just focused on Web 2 apps, you can now do Web 3 apps. It's very, it's so far so good. It's not a simple thing to build, especially for Web 3, in the sense that a lot of, especially for Rust, chain tools, tooling systems, it's not as smooth as, because right now the product can build out a full front end, Next.js, back end, everything once. Right? But when you start integrating the blockchain, that's where most of the hiccups comes from. But so far so good, it's going well. Maybe this April we'll launch that.
I can't wait actually. So, I think we should just get started already. I'll give you the floor, and yeah, so we'll have her.
Yeah. Funny enough, my name in the group is Chale. There's no S. Anyways. Yeah, so today we're looking at a technical guide around building programs with Solana. I want to look at how to do it, best practices, and all that. Today is more of the intro call, so I'm going to also go to fundamentals. Um, as per how Solana works, from ground up. Because now that we have AI, now that we have like something to write our code for us fast. What we need to focus more is understanding, having a good mental model of how the thing work, so that we can be able to just use our AI to spin up or write code faster. But we already know as a block, this is how it works, this is how it works, and then we are not so lost in the process. So, sorry. Right. So basically, the introduction of this course is designed for Web 2, and they intentionally put EVM based developers. Just basically, if you have any experience about Web 2, I mean, about EVM, any other EVM based chains, if you don't have any experience at all, if you're just even a newbie, nothing at all, this particular presentation is for you. So basically, you're going to break down how Solana works and what makes it important for us. So what's Solana? Solana is a high-performance blockchain designed for speed, low latency, and massive scalability. Right. Number one, speed, low latency, and massive scalability. And in this course, you will see why Solana is very, very scalable compared to other chains, and what made it, the chain for any person that wants to launch something on the Web3 space. So number one is the global database. Think of Solana as a global shared permissionless database where codes, which is programs, can run autonomously, right? In the sense that Solana is like a store, and in that store, I can store functions or programs inside. Programs is basically just imagine you do a method in JavaScript or a function in JavaScript, right? Just one block, you can store it somewhere. And that thing, anytime I call that method, it can run by itself in that same global store, right? Which is database. Then performance metric, unlike older blockchains, Solana targets sub-second finality and transaction costs that remains nearly 0.0. I mean, you know this. If you do simple transaction on Solana, maybe if I send so to Alex or he sends so to me, we basically don't spend anything. Compared to 2022, when there was a proof of work in Ethereum, we were spending close to around $10 per transaction, but I mean, we have proof of stake now, so it's easier. The other note is the key differentiator. Okay, so Solana use something called proof of history, which is not Ethereum use something called proof of stake. These two are very different. And proof of history is really why Solana is faster, because it doesn't need so much manual process in the whole flow. Just historical reference, and you'll be able to add your transactions on chain. So to wrap this up, Solana is an high-performance blockchain designed for speed, low latency, and scalability. All right. Sorry. So when we look at the paradigm shift of Solana and Ethereum, Ethereum is a very good case study of understanding Solana, so that you can be able to appreciate the beauty of what Solana does. So Ethereum itself uses smart contracts, what they call smart contracts. In Solana, it is called programs. And both the logic, that's both the function and the data, are stored in a single smart contract. That means in Ethereum, if I'm going to send Alex USDT in Ethereum, that same USDT will have a specific contract address, right? That contract address is what Alex and I are always going to use to reference who owns what. But that's not the same thing for Solana, right? So a simple use case is, imagine a wallet address, OX11 is the USDT wallet address. If I want to send money to Alex again, it means that I need to get that OX11, put it in my wallet, then press send and put some amount of money, and then it goes to Alex. But that OX11 can also contain funds I sent to somebody else. Multiple funds are stored in a specific contract, right? But it's not the same for Solana, and we understand why it's not the same for Solana. So Solana use something called programs, and these programs are stateless, right? So which means that the functionalities of your code the programs you're going to write in the end of this course, they don't store data. In Solana, your programs don't store data. Your programs only interact with accounts, right? So if you see the next list here, it said these are stateful data storage accounts, right? And Solana use something called polarization, which means because um, because program specifies which account they will modify upon, Solana C-level runtime can process thousands of non-conflicting transactions simultaneously. Now, in the case study again of USDT, so let's say I want to send Alex USDC, right? Once I send money to Alex wallet address in a USDC wallet address, right? Um, this time it's not going to go and it's not going to be stored in the USDC contract. It will create a USDC wallet address for Alex and store it there, which means for every new token that you have in Solana, every wallet has their own USDC, has their own token address mapped to that token. So we don't have one store, we have multiple store. So see it like um, for Ethereum, see it like one to one. For Solana, see it like one to many, right? So for instance, my USDC address that I'll send to you would not be the same. My USC, my USDC account address will not be the same USDC that maybe, let's say, Harry will send to you. Account address is different, right? But of course, you are going to interact with one USDC contract and all that. But at the inner level, it is going to send the money to the right place. Which means what that means for us is for Ethereum, if you imagine you have 500 million people that has USDC in Ethereum and they store in one contract address. The problem with that is that there are going to be a lot of, so when you want to get the customer balance, you need to go through those multiple loop. You need to find that particular person. You need to go through. But if I have one to my own wallet, if I want to get your own details of the USDC balance, I just go to alex.usdc and it gives me details. Because now I'm not, because your own is mapped to you alone. Nobody else can be there, right? Can I see if people understand so far so that we don't? Is there a way to see?
I think it's in the chat, but okay, let me just switch on the comments on stage. Yeah. So if anybody is commenting, I think we should be seeing it. I don't know if you can see it now.
Everybody just say hi if you are here. Just say hi. Wins in the chat. Okay. Good stuff. Now let's go to the next one. I want to go to the core architecture and mental models of Solana. So Solana has 5 pillars. There are 5 pillars in. So if you want to be a dev, a Solana dev, you need to understand its 5 pillars. Then we now finally need to understand logic and storage, right? Also storage. The 5 pillars of Solana. Number 1, accounts. You need to understand accounts. So what are accounts? Like I explained earlier, they're just like, imagine if you use imagine you have a folder, right? A folder that has multiple folders inside. This is like a very good way to explain Solana. So the folder is Solana blockchain. Inside that folder, you have multiple folders inside. And one of those folders is called account. And that account, just imagine, so for instance, what they say is files in the Solana operating system that stores data or executable codes, right? So that account is used to store data where your program, which is the smart contract that you write, as referred to in Ethereum side, it is those, your programs are going to read from those accounts or update those accounts, right? You will see how it's been done. The programs are going to read to those accounts or update those accounts. The code you write finally and push to Solana blockchains, they are called programs, which is number 2. They are basically executable code that live in an executable account, right? Because account is a storage form, programs still need to live inside that chain. So they live there. Now, if you've ever done anything with like JavaScript, and before we used to use var in JavaScript, it used to be like, now things has changed a lot. var is like a global scope where you can just put something and add it, and maybe you're doing the calculator, you can just say top up 1, 2, 3. You can't do that with programs. You can't store something on like a something that will hold data in a program. It has to be mapped to an account to store that data. And anytime you want to get that 1, 2, 3, you need to pick from that data from that account again and then use it in your programs, right? So they are stateless. When I say stateless, it means you cannot give it a state. Then instructions, it's just like the smallest bit of what you are going to build, right? So what's the so I want to design a smart contract that can send funds from wallet A to wallet B, right? That's an instruction. That's here in the chat. Okay, nice one. That's an instruction, right? Then transaction is in your MetaMask, or sorry, in your Phantom, because we are dealing with Solana. In your Phantom, when you send transactions from, like, say, you're transferring money to me, that process is called a transaction, right? They are SDKs or APIs that you can use to see how these things flow. Then wallet, of course, wallet is your normal Phantom wallet or software wallet that holds keys and transaction. Now, if we look at this diagram, you will see that we have wallet, user wallet. It makes a signed transaction. Signed transaction is when you click on something and it pops up your Phantom and it tells you to sign, right? You click on sign. That's a signed transaction. Transaction goes and make a RPC request on chain. So transaction does what? Make a RPC request on chain. When that request is done, let's say, for instance, this particular transaction has 2 instructions. Instruction 1 is to call program logic. Instruction 2 is just basically maybe read data or something. It's not really any important. Now, the program logic is your Solana program that you already coded and you deployed on chain, that is stored on the blockchain. Then maybe that program logic is going to modify a data or an account that was stored, that you have access to, that was stored, or maybe it's going to read the time from the chain on chain and basically check what is rent, how much rent this particular wallet has, or blah blah blah, and then finally updates and stores the update on the global. The global ledger is the Solana blockchain itself, right? So it's like this is basically the process of how a user would interact with your smart contract or your program. All right. Logic versus storage. Now, like I told you, what you are going to push on Solana blockchain would be a program that has no state, right? A simple way to define states, and just a simple way to define states, is like a stateful program is one that you have data in it, not your database, not database. You have data in it. In the sense that, imagine you have a class. If you ever done anything with classes, and you have a global array where you pop or you push inside that array, and you can do a lot of things with that. Maybe push data, push objects, push for crazy JavaScript. You can put objects, you can put numbers, you can put whatever you want to put inside an array, right? That's a stateful class. A stateless class is one whereby it only has instructions of how to push, but it does not do the pushing itself. It only says, look, call me to add to an array. Then you cannot come from the outside, you cannot do dot add bracket, whatever I want to put in an array somewhere else, maybe not stored inside the class. That is stateless class, right? So your functions, your programs are like functions, a simple JavaScript function that does not store anything. It's stateless, right? It doesn't have anything with the with updating the outside world. It just only knows the instructions to do it. I mean, it can update the outside world, but internally it doesn't have any store. Then accounts are now the database. Accounts are now where, so instead of putting that array in my program, the array will be stored in an account. So think about this when you're building your smart contract. You have to define, okay, I want to store some things. I'm storing this in a. If I want to store anything, it has to be in an account. If I want to execute something, it has to be in a program. And this is how you're going to design your structs or whatever mechanism in your anchor programs, right? So when you want to update user profile, you send profile account to the program. The program checks if you have permission, modifies the data in the account, and save it back to the ledger. Now, just so I can be sure the chat is following. Why would the program check your if you have permission to update that account? Why does it need to do that? Imagine a situation whereby in a blockchain everybody can just update. Would imagine I can update the account uh, of Alex in his wallet. I can just from my own, I just make a program call and update it. Would that be a valid blockchain? That would be that would be a centralized blockchain. Anyways, you can't update people's program. For instance, if you're going to deploy your program, you're going to use master key. Program needs to know you and all that, right? Needs to know who's making the call. It's pretty simple. Imagine Metaplex. I can just create an update Metaplex. Everybody can update Metaplex. Everybody can just do anything they like. There's no way we can fly with that. So it needs to have some parameters and needs to check, can this particular guy update us? If yes, allow. Which is why you must protect your keys with your life. Protect your deployer keys with your life. Like protect things that you're going to use to update your programs. They should all be protected. All right. So everybody in this chat should already have this setup. If you want to build on Solana ecosystem, we are done with the understanding of how Solana works. If anybody has questions, please drop it on the chat. We'll go through them. Toolchain, yeah. For building on Solana, you need to know Rust, Solana CLI, you need to know Anchor framework, and you need to know Node.js for the client side. Now, and this is the beautiful part about having AI. 3 years ago, you need to know all these things in details. But as most of you are going for an hackathon, our advice, you don't need to know the details. Like I said, you need to know the mental models or the mental block of how everything works. And then when you now want to go into deep dive, maybe you have won the hackathon, you now want to go into a deep dive, you can now start going to deep dive. Because there's a lot of things to learn. Rust alone will take you months, let alone coming to add Solana CLI, or coming to add Anchor framework, coming to add Node.js. So the smartest thing for you to do is to see how can AI, build this thing for me without me struggling too much. I mean, I understand how it works, but at least I don't need to learn too much. It's not a bad thing. It's not. Like Alex said, I used to hate these things before. It's not a bad thing because the coding part of any tech job is literally translating an idea that you have in your head to reality. So if something can make it faster for you, please use that thing, right? But doesn't mean you will not know you don't have domain knowledge of what you're working on, right? I'm saying to go fast and see things, you can use this, then in the future you learn more. Right. So we're going to go through an enhanced workflow of how Solana, how to use AI with Solana, and then we'll just see some example. Like we're going to build live. I've not even prepared anything, but we're going to do it live so you can see my errors. So basically, integrating AI to your Solana building life cycle. It's like you want to create. Basically, you're using ChatGPT, your Gemini, or Claude, something just to help you, map out that Rust learning curve for now, right? Because at the end of the day, you just want to get something done. You want to get the product out, you have an idea, and you want to get it out, right? So it helps you generating the scaffolding, right? So this is where I'm going to advise you on what to do. Because I don't think you should use AI to scaffold. it makes a lot of mistake because of Rust 2 chains. So many bugs come about to be for no reason, because it's going to try to update a version. Solana CLI has not supported that version yet. It's going to start clashing, or maybe you update Solana CLI, the Rust version is not working. It's a lot of, it is messy. That's why I said right now, a lot of it's not so easy to build a blockchain using AI. But I'll show you what to do and how we can get that done. Then you can use that AI to also read what it has done. You can say, okay, tell me what does this mean? Explain it to me. You can break it down for you by path, and yeah, you have your full code. And then debug. You can use AI to start even debugging errors, even when you're live. Use that AI to debug errors. Um, to be honest, for somebody like me that's been coding all my life, it's a good or bad thing, right? I mean, I miss the part whereby we feel very important that we can do this in ourselves with our hand and just knock it, and everybody say, "Hey, Igwe."
I'm, I'm, I'm a good, oh, fuck, I'm a god right now.
Yeah, I really miss that part. But at the same time, it's like it feels like if you don't do this, or if you don't learn this, you'll be left behind. And honestly, it's true, because you cannot be better than a machine. It's like saying a man can run faster than a bike. Even a bicycle will run faster than a man, right? So we are limited. We're humans, right? So we just have to use this tool and get better. One thing you need to do when you are building with AI is your prompts. Your prompts are very important. Now, prompt is not everything. It is very important to give you good results, because AI can just think of rubbish by itself. Remember, these are probabilistic tools in the sense that they just guess. What does this person refer? What does it mean? How does okay, I'll give you this one. If you be writing with AI, I'm not sure if I don't know the tools you're using, but you can see them. AI is thinking, to be telling you, to be saying what it's thinking, to be writing it out. If anybody has gone through deep, it will write it, then if it gives you the final output. So if you want to build a Solana program, something like write a Solana programs for messages. This can mean a thousands and thousands of one of things, right? Your AI does not understand what kind of message. What do you mean by Solana program for messages, right? What do you mean? Where do you want to show this? How do you want to show it? Who do you want to show it to? So many things. So best way is for you to be very, very detailed on your prompt. So for instance, this is example I said, excuse me, please. Write a Solana program using version this. You should have a message account that stores string and public key of the author. Include analyze the account and another to update the message, ensuring only the author can edit, right? So this is a good prompt. Sorry, I am getting. Oh my god.
X group 12:30 6 notifications.
Sorry, are you hearing the call?
Yeah, thank you.
Oh,
Voiceover off.
how do you turn off voiceover? My phone has gone to voiceover. All right. Okay, so a simple example that I want to do in our test right now is the message board app. Want to be an app called a message board app. So first of all, this is the prompt I'm going to use. Create a Solana program that creates an account to store a message, stores message, authorship, timestamp, allows updating the message, blah blah blah. Now you don't need to say create an account. You can just say anything, right? But just explain what you want to say in detail so that it doesn't guess things for you. All right, so I guess this is where we are now. Um, let's go into the coding. So far, so good. Anybody has a question for us before we dive into coding?
Yeah, so if you have a question, drop it in the chat. It will just reflect like from here and we would actually like answer it. Um, so should-
How you come?
alright.
Okay, so I need to create a new project. Give me 1 minute. I'll do this guy, and I'll do. Let me see new folder. So block. Right. I think I need to reshare so that I can share my. So that I can share my. Uh, Let me know what screen you are seeing. Okay,
Yeah.
good. So, guys, I'm using Cursor. Um, oh, I'm using Cursor. I'm sorry for the distraction. I have somebody waiting on me. So, yeah, I'm using Cursor. Does everybody here use Cursor, or
I think
I'm
I use
I'm I'm the only
anti-gravity.
man? How's it been though with that anti-gravity?
I think anti-gravity is pretty much good because I don't know for course whether
Hmm.
you get to choose multiple models. It's been like the
Yeah,
longest
yeah,
I've done
yeah. I mean, you can do it
and
here.
okay. And then I also like I think okay, maybe the reason I'm using anti-gravity to be honest is because I use the Google Pro plan.
Mm.
So and it actually
Gemini.
gives very cool UIs. Like I think the time it wants to like generate good UIs. So but
Mm-hmm.
generally is it hallucinating stuff? It's like crazy. So you just choose your
Mm.
point. Sometimes I maybe shift cursor codecs, sorry, anti-gravity codecs
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
like the stuff.
All right. I would. So, like I told us, we don't need to. We should not tell the AI for now, at least for now. We should not tell it to build everything for us. We need a template. So if I want to do this, I will go to templates, the Solana, and from here I can get like this template works. They have like the whole Rust, so everything figured out it works. So we are not changing anything in this in the packages and the rest. So I'm going to use Anchor, the Anchor Nest.js one, and it gives us instruction on how to install it. So copy this, and we are going to come here, and I will just go to my terminal on this, and I'll just paste the code. So of course I have npx. I have all this thing in my global store. I will call the project message. Let me increase this font for people. I call it message board, and it's going to clone the project. So let's wait while it clones. While it clones it. Um, so it's going to clone the project. So it's cloning the Anchor side, it's cloning the Nest.js side. I prefer you using Nest.js and Anchor because these tools already work together, right? I know some people like to do,
React.
they'll go and start using Django,
Oof.
Python for this. It's you are stressing yourself. Just go do whatever you want to do to get out there quickly, because in this AI age, anybody with your idea. They will spin it off in 2 seconds. So whatever you need to do to get live and have your clients or customers from an experience standpoint, do those things because yeah. Anyways, stick cloning, we
I
have to
think why
wait.
I mean, let's talk about the templates that you got it from. What are like the type of templates you can actually get apart from the Next.js Anchor templates? Because I saw multiple templates there
Uh-huh.
that people can
Um, yeah. So we can get the simple Next.js templates that works on Solana transactions, which means that with these templates, if you just phantom making an RPC call or call DevNet sol, this has it packaged right for you. Um, then we have the Nest Anchor. We have the Advite. A lot of people use this because it's quite light. This is very light
yeah.
to use. Same thing. They also have the Advite and Anchor. Expo. If you're building mobile apps, you can use this to build mobile apps, right? Um, it basically comes in with like normally you would have go and do Expo new app, right? But with this, if you do if you build it there, it means you need to start figuring out which version of Expo works with Phantom, which this work with this. So when you come here, you can just pick up any template you want to do and the work you want to work on, and voila, you have it. So basically, you also have for Pinocchio. Pinocchio is another alternative for
Yeah.
in smart contract and auth base. So yeah, this is where I mostly come to pick templates to just get started. You can, so it's still, I think it's still a work in progress. You can see we have for payment. OX 402 is agentic payment. If you want to have agent to agent making payments, maybe you build a Solana service that has an agent, and if work is done, that agent needs to get paid. How would we get paid? Because if you're always present in the payment, it is not automatic or it's not autonomous. It means that you are not you are blocking the process. So, but X402 was created just to solve this problem so that agents can make payments. I mean, I really would need to dive deep into this because it seems like a very promising thing. X402. Right. So this is where open standard for internet payments. It absorbs the internet, blah blah blah. So yeah. Okay. Let me see. We are installing npm now. Just to follow up, how many people do you see having the call?
We have about 168 persons on the call.
100. Interesting. Okay, so please, I would love your questions. I guess a lot of you have a lot of questions. Make sure you send it to us. Like, we need to, don't be shy. We are not
Yeah,
going to
and we
bite.
also have like a Telegram group chat, just in case you have questions later on when you're trying to like maybe test out what we've done so far. And if you just basically ask the questions, drop what you've done, we just like, go through.
Okay, so we're still installing. Don't worry, my internet is fast, I guess. Let me see. This internet want to form my hand. I can't believe this. No, this is not my internet.
But it's streaming. So it's streaming.
It's kind of so it's like Elon Musk internet now. Some are better, some are slow.
Yeah, it's almost done.
Right, it's almost done. It's almost done. We're almost there. I would rather that anyone working right now should do follow along as I walk, like spin up, open your open your cursor, go to the templates, copy that template, see the way I installed it. I came here and I did I came here and I copied this MPX and I put it on my terminal and I ran it, blah blah blah. Then it's doing the installation, and then I'm going to run it. I'm going to run them, right? Um, so it also explains what's included: wallet connection, cluster switching, wallet balance, vault balance, tools notifications, error handling, codama generated code. This is very useful. If you've done anything on Ethereum, it's called ID. It's not called in Solana. It's called IDL. In Ethereum, it's called what's the word?
I think it's I think that environment where you get to call the smart contracts.
It's called something. A smart contracts. Let's say
Just,
Ethereum
yeah, it has can
smart
ABI,
contracts.
ABI, yeah.
ABI, yeah. It's called an ABI. So basically, if you come here in Ethereum, if you come to contracts, so this is an
Yeah.
ABI, right? An ABI is like what you use to you copy this JSON and you put it on your Ethereum smart contract, and it's able to make call. So I guess we are good to go. See generating clients. Interesting. I think in this particular point, it is trying to build my code and is basically generating the codama by itself under the hood. And at the same time, it's going to try to map it to the front end, blah, blah, blah. This is one of the hardest parts about the Solana work I've been working on. Like very exciting work. But when you start generating based on people's requests, I want to start generating um, methods that the front end would use. That's where everything breaks. So, for instance, now if I go to that product and I said generate a message board for me, it's going to generate it for me. But at the same time, it can copy this your JSON from your generated IDL and start using that like a form on your front end. So your front end now look like a form. Like, no, this is not an app. This is an app, not a form. So there's a lot of if else. And let me tell you honestly, if you I don't know if you guys saw the cloud code that leaked yesterday. Cloud
Yes.
this thing. There's a lot of if else. It's not magic. You have to you have to manually say if this, do this. If this, they have like 800 lines of code. If so, it's before if you're looking at it from here, you're thinking, how did they do it? But honestly, it's just if else, right? Well, I didn't know this would take so long to install.
It's just network. I think it have installed. It's just running the this thing, the
The
query.
what?
What do you call it again? So it was generating the Kodama. So it's just interacting with every other thing.
Okay, I think why it's doing this, we can just keep looking at the generated code. Let's see what is in the template. So what it brought out the anchor, which is where we are going to have our smart contracts, and this is our app where we are going to have our front end, right? Inside this place, we're going to have, of course, node modules. All of you know node modules. It's like what we generated after we installed this. So maybe we should start from the anchor programs. So if you go to here, if you come to this, you come to lib, rs, you can see this is just a simple vault where a user deposits. You have a deposit function. If you go to the vault, I think it's done downloading. You go to the vault context. If I come here, so I miss VS Code. Anyways, if I come here, the vault context, I have a signer. This is the person that can update this vault, right? Then we have a seed, we have a bump. Now, this is where I tell you that you don't need to worry about these details right now if you are pushing for the hackathon, right? It's just something you can always learn, right? So seed and bumps are like, keys of how, if I see this key, allow this. If I see this, allow this, right? The vault is where it's stored. Then we have the Solana, the system program. This is like default system programs, right? Errors, these are like error messages that are going to be sent when um, when a certain user does a certain request. So these error messages are going to be shown in the UI, right? Um, okay, so do not be scared about this code. I hope nobody sees this and is feeling intimidated. No, do not be scared. So basically, what it's doing basically is checking if this particular vault has enough sol, and if it's equal to 0, say it doesn't exist, right? Lamport is similar to way in Ethereum, right? So Lamport is sol. A billion Lamport is one sol. So we say, hey, look, if there's nothing here, just return 0. That's basically what this require mean. Then the rent is like check if this particular guy has enough, rent, because when you put data on blockchain, you need to pay for it. Of course, it's not the same thing for Ethereum, right? But in Solana, you need to pay for it, and most of you don't notice this is when you deploy a contract. That's not that you pay for it from your fees just directly to the chain. Their transfer is like account from this signer to this vault, right? And these details were passed through from here, from this context. So that means on the front end, we are going to have a from and a to account that does this, right? So I expect, again, if I check this again, this is the details. Cool. So now that we have this, same thing happens in the withdrawal. In the withdrawal, we check again if the guy has enough, the vault has enough sol. If it's greater than 0, then if it's not greater than 0, we say invalid, right? Because require. Remember, imagine we are saying require and a not, a negative. So they're saying if this is not greater than 0, return invalid amount. Then we'll do the same process that we did in the in this part. Basically, give it the bomb, a key, collect the bomb, collect the key, collect the seed, then we'll make a transfer, right? So this is top up, this is withdraw, right? And it's just a simple code. Okay, I think we can do APN run dev. No, there's no npm in this. I need to cd message dashboard, and I'm going to do npm run dev. So if I do npm run dev, I already have something running in. So if I come here, if I do localhost 3001, not trade. So this is like the default template here. Now we want to build a front end and a smart contract for this, for message board. So what I'm going to say, yeah,
it's called programs on Solana. Yeah, just kidding.
Don't mind, you know what I mean. Yeah, so I'm going to use the right word, programs.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at what I'm going to do. I am not going to write this thing myself. I'm actually going to use the voice. Yeah. But I also notice that sometimes I get very tired because I need to explain writing this myself. So I'll put this here. Then I'll say I want to plan because it's like first hint. So let me say, okay, I can't do this. Let me just type do not change versions, updates, add the programs, sorry, to the anchor folder. Then I'll say update the UI to suit new program, creates a premium UI for the program. Then I say ensure everything works. So let's see this and let's see the plan. This is how I do it, right? I start first, create a plan. Then I will review the plan to see if it makes sense. Then I'll update again. Okay, so it's saying it's mapping the structure, searching the files. There's a mistake already. We did not tell this the AI that we are doing from like we are starting from a fresh slate. That it should remove um, old programs.
Yeah.
So what we might try to do now is to add this to the existing one, and that's not what we want. We should have told him, okay, look, remove the old ones and um, add this. But let's see what it's going to bring for the plan. This is why you need to always plan. You need to always add your plans.
So basically, the plan is just for it to like tell you how it's going to
Mm,
like carry out the task.
yeah,
So you do most of your edits there before it actually like start carrying out the plan, so that it saves you the time you would have used to say no, this is not how I want it. This is how you
yeah.
want it. Too much like
Mm,
also taking lots of your credit.
mhm. Because you're paying for everything. All right. So it says, how should the new message app relate to the existing program? Replace in fact, it haven't told us. Replace the
Yeah.
current vote focus page with the new one. Keep the vote. So we want to replace. What account model do you want for messages? One says one message per account. Allow each wallet to create multiple message. Which one should be better? Let's use A again. One message per account. So continue. Honestly, my go-to AI model is GPT.
Yeah, I think
GPT
it has like,
5.4.
yeah, very
What?
good. I think it's very good.
GPT? Oh, GPT 5.4 has been so impressive. I have used a lot of them, but this is like novel. And please, I know it's not easy, but try not to use auto in custom. This is the worst AI you can ever use. Auto. But you can use it if you don't have enough, bandwidth because I pay for like larger plan. So okay, so it has given us a plan. So let's read it. Add a new anchor program in the existing workspace, message bot slash anchor, and let each wallet create and later update a single message account storing message, author, and timestamp. Then replace the current vault first front end, blah blah blah. So it's saying basically we want to add it to the message block, then we are going to replace the front end. Existing integrations is this and that. Implementation had a new anchor program without changing versions. This is very important. Without changing versions, because then it's going to work. It's going to use the same CLI, the same Rust version, the same Solana version, whatever. It's going to make sure that it works. Register the new program. Implement accounts such as message accounts containing public key, string, whatnot, hard focus, retarget code generations to the new IDL. So it's going to generate in code level and try to map that code on the UI, right? Replace the home page with a premium UI. Remember, we told it again, use a premium design. Um, so it's connect the wallet, does the flow, verify full flow end to end, and then note, say version stays exactly as it is. Only new program, only new program code and generated client target and UI wiring styling. There's this vault program will remain in the workspace, but the main UI will be pointed to the new program per the selected scope. I think this is what we want. So
Mm.
what I'm going to do now
So I
is
think we could actually like remove the existing vault program, because I think it's persisted at that point, because we want to actually like remove that and replace it with the messaging program. Check on notes. I think on
oh
notes one. So it said something now. The existing on it,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I see it. I see it. Versions. There's this. Okay, this one. The existing
Yeah.
vault program can remain in the same workplace. Okay. Updates. Let's say updates plan. Existing vault programs should be removed to only message board program, right? Let me see. I just hope it doesn't build it. Let me. Okay, cool. So it's going to try to update the plan. This was buggy some time ago. Okay, good. Updating the plan so that the vote is moved entirely and the vote becomes message board only. So it's going to try to do that. Okay, it's working on it. Right. So don't forget if you have questions, just drop it here. We are going to look at them. Okay. So cool. It has updated our plan. And if you come back to notes, that the final workspace should contain only the message board program and one's corresponding UI/client flow with vault specific programs and UI pieces removed. Right? Right? I guess we can build this now, Alex.
Yes, yes, yes. That's it.
All right. So this is how basically you do your AI programming. You write, do your plan, you write, you learn, you read through, you update, do more updates over and over again until you are satisfied. Right? So it's started working.
So why is working? So how about people that building like a full scale application like from end to end involves not just this AI part. Let's say there are parts where you have to host it. There could even be like part of your application that needs like a server. There is there is also like
Hmm.
some part of the applications that like these parts are where like AI might not necessarily like tell you what to do. Right? It has
Hmm.
written right? It's pretty much will go as far as well, maybe creating a .env file, but it won't tell you where to put it when you're now about to host it. It won't tell you like all those things. Now, for people
Yeah.
that make a what do you think they should do? Because now it's no longer a I can write code with AI. Now experience of maybe previous experience of like shipping applications and all that. So what's like your take
Hmm.
on that? Because it gets tricky because most people will be like, I can just one shot the application. I can just build it.
Yeah.
But there are actually like things outside writing actual code. You need to understand some of the things AWS and the rest like shipping. So what's like your take on that?
I think that's where you now start using the product I'm building. It will help you build everything and give you a URL, just a link, and you share it to your friends, and you don't need to worry about deployment, EMV, all the stuff. It's all self-contained. Anyways,
Yeah.
what I would do if I was you is to use, um, excuse me, is to
So
use still use AI to tell you what to do.
okay.
Right. So how do I deploy this? AI will tell you you can do it on Basel, you can do it on Render or Railway, whatever. AI will tell you that. But yes, it's of course this is where we now have an edge as engineers because we are common. It's not so simple like people
Yeah.
think. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not as because to my elder sister who is just a businesswoman and building a blockchain product, telling her Vassal or this or that is not as simple as we
Yeah.
think, right?
It's more complicated.
In fact, it gets more complicated for them. So they just need like a place to do everything. But at the same time, if you want to do it, and you're like a student and you just want to figure things out yourself, always ask AI. There's a lot of things you can ask AI. It directs you, gives you line. If error happens, copy that error, put it on your AI again. What does this mean? Where can I check? And then you have a lot of back and forth, but you're going to learn. Then finally again, you can just use my products. In fact, it should have been a good time for me to just share link, but then I don't have it deployed yet.
It's fine.
So I guess we have done. So it's done building the first part of it. It's going to do the. It's using Light SVM. This is so impressive, right?
Yeah.
People don't understand how far gone AI has gone. I feel like people who are against it don't really, really, really understand. This used to take us days or weeks to build. As simple as you may think, like take you all day to do a message board. Why? Because you are a human being. You make errors, like a lot of left and
Yeah.
right. Sometimes you make
Yes. You do a lot of things.
mistakes. It's not, and yeah, that's why I say it was like a superpower for us that our guy could not do that. Now, if I carry my hoodie and wear my this thing,
And
because
also keeping up with new updates and technologies, like because
Mhm.
nothing is to like understand everything, and then tomorrow there is a new way of doing something I used to, and it's stuff like soft pulls. Not everybody that can see soft putting now. Well,
Yeah.
with AI, you can just say, okay, I want this thing to run me tests, like mirror all the things you've done on software, and know like how the program is going to run when people are actually like
Mm.
using it live.
Like, yeah, it's like it has gone way beyond what you would think, and I'm really impressed about how AI is able to do a lot of things so easily for us now. So don't be in that loop of AI cannot replace whatever. AI is not supposed to replace you, honestly. It's supposed to aid you and make you faster, right? In fact, if I was you, I would be building things myself, try to do a solopreneur project, and um, and yeah, just see things I can build myself instead of waiting on jobs and the rest. So doing anchor build. So right now it has completed building the smart contracts. Now it's building anchor. So it's running tests, anchor tests. We're building it with Light SVM. If you know Light SVM is like a way to test Solana applications easily. So now the program builds now, and so I'm generating a new typed front-end client from a freshly produced message board IDL before I replace the UI, import the state and logic. So you can see that it has completed building the programs, and now it's now going to build the UI. So it's going to take the previous thing and like build fresh brand new UI. Again, anybody can ask us questions why this thing continue. So it's building out the UI. These were the generated code from the program. Um, Message board, this guy, instructions, this guy. So maybe we can just look at the program that was generated.
Yeah.
So basically, we want a place to create message and update message. So the first method that was created is called create message. Basically, we pass our message context and the data, the message you want to create. And then we have a function called validate message. So if we go to validate message, basically going to tell if this particular person can do this. So it's required that the message is not empty. If it's empty, return message empty, error. It's required that the message length is not less than, it's not more than maximum length. If it's more than maximum length, you say message is too long. Remember, it's the blockchain. You don't want to store a lot on the blockchain because you're paying for it. And then if we come back to our message, if this is valid, if the user has, the message is not empty and the length is okay, it basically gets the account that this user wants to update. This is the account, the message account. It gets the author keys, like this is this one that signed transaction from the Phantom side. It gets his keys and it gets the message. And then so basically it updates all these things like this and give us a timestamp. So this is the way we want to get, this is where we get time from the smart contract. We use the clock time, right? And then okay is a response, right? Remember, there's no semicolon here. This is because we don't have a return statement here, right? So if you do return in Rust, if you do return, you have to kill it here. But if you don't have return, you can do this without the semicolon, right? So basically, this is a return keyword. So on your front end or your Node.js side or whatever server you use, once you see the Rust okay, that means this particular message was created. Proceed. Now updating the message. So we get the struct of the account of the message, and then we get the message I want to update from. Again, we still validate the message if it's not empty, if the length is not too long, and then we put in the new messages. You can see that we did an unmute, right? Basically by updating the reference. Remember, in Rust, if you want to update something, you need to mutate it, right? But if that thing already exists and already has an owner, you need to have a reference of that thing to update that thing, right? So we do that, the account, and then we pass in the message, and then voila, we pass in this, and also we send okay. So it's pretty much a simple contract, or a simple program. Sorry if I keep using the word contracts. So create message account is like, okay, how are these messages stored? Remember, an account will store data, an account will store this stuff. So the account will need to have details of that account. Who is the signer? This is the signer. This is the owner of the account, right? This is the signer. Who is the one that's going to pay for the fees or making transactions? The space is like, look, in Solana, you need to define some space when you want to store some things. Remember that we have this is why we have a message length. Because if you pass all that message and put it here, it's going to crash. But look, the space for you for a single message is so if you go to this guy, if you come, let me see if I can go to space keyword. Let me see. Yeah, good. So we have an implementation of an account message, and you can see how we say use size. So use size is like an unsigned size, right? We just created the size, and 8 bits, 32 bits plus 4 bits plus message length plus this. These are default. No, sorry, 8 bits is for the init. I think it's signer init, and this 4 is for the payer. Then this is the message, and this is the, I think, constraint. But basically, we are going to define the size of this whole message, right? We are not done yet. It's still building the front end. It's almost done. If anybody has questions on this, you can ask us. Then we also have message account. Message account is a struct, and it was implemented with this, right? Public key of the author, message that wants to be sent, and the time, right? Remember, when we are updating this thing, we said author, message, and time. This is because our message account is a type of message account struct. So we getting this author message timestamp was not magical. It was like It's supposed to be there. Do you get? Okay. So we are running tests now. After this test, we are going to test the front end and see if we have a full blown. Now it didn't cost us up to 30 minutes to do this thing. This is plus front end, back end service if there's any back end there, and smart contract. This is I hope people don't know this was not possible before. This was
So
never possible before.
time is money, and now you get to pay for it with AI.
Yeah, yeah, that's the only downside. That's the only downside is that my fear is young people like students, because I remember when I was learning to code, I think I don't have money. I don't have 30,000 to pay for AI service. I don't have it. So my only fear is that these people may not be able to. There's now a restriction to entry for people who don't have money. So that means if you are richer, you're going to be successful more than the other
Yeah,
students. Why before it was like bring your brain, I bring my brain. Whoever dies. Right. Right. So it's deploying on Lightest VM. Okay. This is the last side of things. I guess it's largely done now. I think it's making some mistakes. And all these things that's happening is going to burn a lot of tokens, a lot of tokens, because we did means running tests, it's building front end, building back end. You can see the way AI is thinking. It's thinking that I'm considering whether I need to patch a depreciation warning, blah 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 blah. It's just trying to see what I can. Okay, it tries to change the build command, build SBF, and that manifest file to it. Let's see. Say on change test pass now, but I want project scripts to work reliably from a clean checkout. Okay, let's see. It's literally talking to itself.
yeah. I think that's pretty much what we developers do when we write code. So, like think you evaluate your options, what is the best is to have notes. Basically, like you take notes, you have your whiteboard, and then you tick off the list of the ones that you think are the right ones, and then it's just mirroring our normal behavior. That's
Normal
why
behavior.
I say this right. Can't like outthink a machine as much as we are the ones that will guide it through how it's going to go. But once it has those patterns right, it's basically garbage in, garbage out. Whatever you give it is what it will give you.
Yeah. Okay. I think we have gone through this whole thing. It says again, it's a very simple program. A program to create, a program to update. For you to create, you need to have accounts to store this message as on create. You need to have an account on update. Um, sorry, an account on update. So then this is the account that does the storage. This is the one in the storage. This is one that defines space. This particular one defines space, and yeah, good. So it's doing APM run. I think I need to kill this server. This could be blocking it because it will be trying to try to run my server at the same time on its own, but my server could have old artifacts like old data, and then it could be making a lot of errors because of that. Yeah, the only downside about using AI is money. Like you just gotta pay for tokens. Maybe you say you want to share on how they will get tokens.
Mm, is it
Is it after the
today?
call? Oh, okay, it's not today.
Yeah.
I think it's largely done. It's just doing tests. It's testing. It's testing. Summing up. So this is where it's doing all the background work. This is where it's doing all the background work. It's doing a smoke test on the Next.js app, which means like it's checking not really runtime, no runtime checks. It's doing runtime checks on the background app. Okay, so this is how AI works. Basically, it takes time. So don't get. I don't think this will work. You can also join Solar Devs if you want to see more of this. I think we'll start pushing more of this on Solia. So if you want to see more of this, you can always join Solar Devs. And I'll be in the group. I will be in the group. So you can talk to me in the group. I'm saying hi on the group.
Yeah, I think I had issues with my internet. My light dropped, so my
That's fine.
Starlink went off.
That's fine.
Alright. Where are we now?
It's running production tests on the Next.js app and it's exploring, checking the dev machine, checking the terminal. They did like a front end test and discovered that some things were not okay.
Okay.
It's saying the page is blank. Can you see?
Yeah.
I see the page is blank, but I'm about to. Um, so the test is passed. Render successfully. No critical issues. Um, yeah, I think it's ready.
Yeah.
Page is production ready, and all expected components rendering correctly in the disconnect wallet state. So now it's going to test the connect wallet state. I mean, it's very detailed.
Yeah, because
Honestly, mm-hmm,
while writing code, I think some of these tests you actually miss them.
mm-hmm,
Like the connected state. Like honestly, if I was to be building, I'll be building from like the connected state. Right. And I pretty much forget about the disconnected state and all that. But now it's
yeah.
actually checking all the this thing, what do you call it? All the failing points and all that, which maybe is something you'll be figuring out. Maybe when you are done building, you can start checking all those things one by one. Why is something you would have factored in why you are actually like shipping?
Mm, something is off. Let me see. Port is already in use, but it's supposed to use another port by itself. Not sure why. Say localhost. Let us go to localhost 32.
Yeah. Oh, and the
Voila.
UI is pretty much good.
Clean. Right. DevNet, testnet, mainnet, localnet.
Oh my god.
This is it also gave us a
And
this is
that,
modern UI.
yeah, very modern. We are past the stage of purple backgrounds.
So let's send a message. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what is running, but let's send a message. Let me connect my wallet. Connect my wallet. Okay, I need an airdrop.
Oh,
Uh, okay, this is a right message. Hello. Let's say hello world. I mean, I don't think this will work because I don't have. Yeah, error. Blah blah blah. So yeah, I mean, you've gotten to this stage, and then you pick this error. If I was you, I'll pick this error,
and start
and I
debugging.
will put paste it here again, and I'll tell you. I will click on ask, and I'll ask it what's happening. How do I fix this? What is going on? Right. So
Yeah.
yeah, so this is basically it. And I mean, if you submit this thing for your um hackathon, people will be impressed to even see it because it looks okay, and not just even the UI, like functional wise, it works, so to
Yeah, I
say.
I can see auto message accounts on the side, last updated, like those
Mhm.
details, basically. That's like a
And
full,
then
okay, continue.
yeah, go on.
Okay, I'm just trying to say, like, all these features are not necessarily what you could actually build out in a day, to be honest, because you have to, like, think of how you get those data, how you, like, as simple as,
As simple as this before, as simple as this nav was, this nav that you're seeing, or this change state. Do you know how long it takes? It's not. People don't understand. Like you can't battle with this thing. No matter how much you try, you can't. Like it's way above our capacity right now. In fact, it's deployed. Okay, it's talking to this program by itself. I mean, you can go to the Explorer, you can copy address, all these details, all these little details. Right? It's not something you can build just a day. Right? Even I'm talking about only UI. I'm not talking about smart contract. Only UI.
yeah,
You need a full team to build this thing in 3 days or 4 days. You need a team. One person is doing smart contract, another person is doing front end, another person is doing connection. All right, I guess this is it. This is where we'll call it.
yeah,
Then I will send some tests or assignments on the Telegram channel,
Telegram chat. Yeah,
and then when they send us some maybe GitHub repo, I just review
yeah,
them on the call and
yeah.
give some other tips on how to build
Okay.
contracts. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for today. Tomorrow, I think is when we'll wrap it up. We could go through what we already have and also for the tasks that will be dropped in the Telegram chat and also go through some of them. So I think this is
Okay.
where we call it a day till
Do you
tomorrow.
have
Like,
any questions?
yeah, I don't know. Does anybody have like any question? Not seeing any. Let me check the chat. Okay. Uh,
Is
okay.
this streaming on Twitter?
Yeah, it's streaming on X and also on YouTube. The official Super Team Nigeria handle check from there. Should seeing it there. All right. I think I'll be ending the call. So yeah, we'll continue the chats in the Telegram group chats, the tags and all that. All right now. Thank you very much,
All
guys.
right. See you
Be
guys
talking
tomorrow.
next tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. Bye, guys.
Yep. Bye.